Please remain still. The examination is mandatory. We're preparing the instruments for your diagnosis. Let's begin.
Welcome. Your case file is now open. What we're doing here isn't just an analysis. Think of it as a clinical diagnosis of the human soul. We're treating existence itself as a subject for dissection. The consultation starts now.
And here it is, the core thesis of your diagnosis, laid bare. It's a chilling idea, isn't it? That your life, your very consciousness, isn't a gift, but a symptom of a terminal condition. Our job today is to understand the nature of this affliction.
So, let's begin the diagnostic process. What are the observable symptoms of this condition you call life? Well, according to the case file, the evidence is all around us. It's in the very structures we've built.
Take note of the first symptom. It's an architectural metaphor. Our civilization is presented as this grand, magnificent cathedral, but if you look closer, you'll see its hollow core. All that grandeur is just a facade for empty, repetitive rituals. It suggests a structure that's about to collapse from its own internal decay.
Now, the atmosphere of this diagnosis is pervasive. This isn't just some dry, philosophical argument. It's steeped in classic Gothic imagery. You see, the ravens aren't just birds. They are omens. They're silent observers of an inevitable decay, turning something familiar into something deeply threatening.
And here, this is the relentless heartbeat of the illness itself. This ebony clock tower represents the indifferent, unstoppable march of time. Every single tick is a reminder of mortality, a steady, mechanical rhythm counting down to your end, and it is utterly unconcerned with your struggles or your achievements.
So, the primary symptoms are now cataloged. First, there's a salve of illusion. These are the comforting lies you tell yourself to mask the rot. Then, a fundamental departure from universal equilibrium. Your very consciousness is a cosmic disturbance. All of this leads to a constant, exhausting battle against the void, fought under the inescapable weight of mortality.
All right. With the symptoms identified, we can now proceed to the formal diagnosis. What is the root cause? What is the primary pathogen that's responsible for all this systemic suffering?
The diagnosis is fractured pathology. And what does that mean? Well, the source material defines it as the very concept of individuality. Your desire to be a distinct self, to have a name, an ego, a story, this is identified as the fundamental sickness. It's seen as a violation of the natural state of things, which is the silent, unified peace of non-existence.
Let's be clear. The diagnosis is unambiguous. The very thing you cherish most, your unique identity, is identified as the disease. Every single effort to be someone, to stand apart from the whole, well, that's what generates the friction, the pain, and that departure from universal equilibrium. The pathology is you.
You might be wondering, how exactly is this diagnosis delivered? What's the methodology here? Well, it's a very precise and self-aware process. You could call it a clinical protocol for decay.
Our protocol is a pretty unique blend of styles. We've fused cold, rational analysis with a kind of visceral horror. The detached clinical persona makes the terrifying Gothic imagery feel that much more unsettling. The logic is sharp, almost Socratic, but its purpose isn't to guide you toward enlightenment. No, it's to guide you toward a final crucible, a trial by fire.
So, if individuality is the sickness, what are the treatment options? 2 prescriptions are offered for your condition, and there are only 2.
And this, right here, is the central choice presented to you, the patient. On one hand, you have the logic of 0. Surrender your ego, dissolve back into the cosmic whole, and find peace in oblivion. On the other hand, there's the logic of 1. Embrace your individuality, but you have to accept that this means a life of constant friction and struggle, what the ancient Greeks called agon, a noble contest. So it's peace or purpose through pain.
But there is a complication. Choosing the logic of 1 introduces an unexpected side effect. This is what we call the physician's paradox.
Choosing sovereignty, the path of the individual, it comes with something termed the crimson gift. It's the profound understanding that selfhood is absolutely inseparable from suffering. To be a sovereign being is to accept that eternal storm, to be forged in the fire of an unfiltered reality. It is a gift, yes, but it's paid for in blood.
This raises a fascinating question, doesn't it? Is this suffering purely destructive, or could it be transformative? The paradox is this.
The very diagnosis designed to show you the sickness of self might, under absolute pressure, actually forge a stronger consciousness. It hints at an almost alchemical tempering of the soul. You need to understand that this clinical dissection isn't necessarily a death sentence. For those who choose the logic of one and actually endure the crucible, something powerful, even transcendent, can be forged. It's a high-stakes psychological evolution, born from staring right into the abyss and not flinching.
And so, the consultation draws to a close. The symptoms have been listed, the diagnosis has been delivered, and the 2 prescriptions have been outlined. The final decision is now removed from the physician's hands.
And so we're left here. The clinical case file remains open. The diagnosis is on the table, and the choice is yours. Will you choose the quiet peace of non-being, the logic of zero? Or will you embrace the eternal storm of a sovereign self, the logic of one? You must decide.